Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. My name is Mark Roden, and in today's video we're going to be going over the top 13, because again, it's just never 10 on the Mark Roden channel, man. It's never a number that makes sense. So we're doing 13 of the best V8 powered automobiles for less than $10,000. Now V8s in general are just obviously more expensive. They tend to be, at least than cars like inline 4s or V6s, and so that's the reason why we're going with a price range of 10K today. If I did 5K, it would have been like kind of boring. It would have been just kind of cars that nobody really actually likes, just cars with V8s in them, but for the sake of having a V8, you know what I mean? So I figured 10K makes a little bit more sense. Either way, song of the day is called None Major by Shoreline Mafia. It is a rap song, so if you don't like rap music, obviously don't listen to it, you big idiot. But if you do like rap music, go give it a listen. It's a banger. I love it. Shoreline Mafia in general, dude, is one of my favorite bands, artists, I guess you could say, of all time. They're great. I just like ended that clip so abruptly, but either way, we're into the list now, so here we go. Coming in at 13th place is going to be going to the Audi S4 B7. Cars like this are the reason why we did a 10K price range, because if I didn't do a 10K price range, I wouldn't be able to talk about this car, because they're not under 5K. I'll let you guys know. How about this? I'll let you guys know if the car is under 5K or not. That way, the 5K folks are happy as well. But yeah, this one's definitely not. The car comes with a 4.2 liter V8, making 340 horsepower, and it is all-wheel drive. That, my friends, is 340 horsepower in like the 2000s. Very impressive. Very impressive. Audi used to make some freaking bangers. Now, the reliability on the S4 B7 is horrible. Any of the early model S4s honestly really are horrible. It's a German V8. What do you expect? But when it runs, the car's an absolute blast to drive. And the Audi Quattro system too, like, it just has everything going for it. Coming in the wonderful number 12 spot, literally, is going to be going to, my dogs are barking because they love this car so much, the Chevy Impala SS 7th generation. This car has made its way onto the Mark Roden channel quite a bit now, and I'm happy. I hope it never stops making its way onto the Mark Roden channel, because I'm a big fan of it. My uncle's got 2 of them. I love them. The car comes with a 5.7 liter V8, making 260 horsepower, and it is rear-wheel drive. Now, I'm going to be the first to admit it. 260 horsepower sounds pretty good until you realize the car is heavy. It has a very long wheelbase as well. 260 horsepower out of the get-go is definitely not enough to like have a ton of fun or anything like that, but this is a Chevy, okay? And the motor's gonna, now I'm gonna be honest, brutally honest here, I don't believe it's an LS. I don't know if it's a small block, I don't know if it's a big block, I don't know what the motor actually is, but it's a 5.7 liter V8 from Chevy. You know, gosh darn well, whatever motor it is, it's gonna want to handle some extra power, so you can very easily make this thing fast if you want to, but that's not really the selling point on these cars anyway. They're long, luxurious, comfortable cars. Also, these cars are not found under 5K, just want to make that clear. Finally, a car for my $5,000 folk tales out there, though. Coming in at the number 11 spot is going to be going to the Ford Crown Victoria. It is not a Mark Roden list if the Ford Crown Victoria doesn't show up somehow. I mean, it literally like fits into almost every one of my lists ever. They're extremely good cars. They're just good in every single regard. Now, they're not, the one big downside to the Crown Vic, in my personal opinion, is they don't look cool, but that's obviously personal preference. You could think it looks awesome, and that's awesome. Good for you, you know what I mean? The car comes with a 4.6 liter V8, making 235 horsepower, and it is rear-wheel drive. Pretty just good, you know? Like, it's not great or anything. It's kind of like the Impala, where, yeah, it's a little bit low for the weight of the car, the wheelbase of the car, for sure, but again, they weren't meant to be race cars, and you could still have a ton of fun in these, obviously. I mean, I don't gotta be the guy to tell you that. These Crown Vics have been making their rounds on the internet now in the car guy space for being a very, very fun, enjoyable little dirt cheap car, and you can find these things under $5,000, and they're extremely reliable, and they have 4 doors. Like, what else could you want? I'm sorry, guys, because it's another car that's not under $5,000. Coming into the number 10 spot, the beautiful number 10 spot, my bad, sorry, number 10, is the Pontiac GTO, the newest ones. I don't know too much about the classic muscle cars, and it drives me insane because I love them so much. They're such gorgeous, some of the most gorgeous cars ever built are classic muscle cars. First generation Camaro, Plymouth Hemi Cuda, I can't remember it right now, but the Dodge something Super B, oh, so gorgeous. But I don't know enough about them, and this is one of the ones I don't know too much about, but they come with a 5.7 liter V8, making 400 horsepower on the dot. Really good. That is rear-wheel drive. Now, it is very hard to find these cars under $10,000, and that's the reason why it's here at the number 10 spot and not higher on the list. If it was easy to find these under 10K, this would be number 1 all day long. I mean, it's just such a good deal, man. They really are. There's just nothing wrong with the Pontiac, the new Pontiac GTOs. I love them so much. I wish I knew more about American muscle cars yet again, because these cars, and they're gorgeous too, and they're pretty much like they're just great. Coming in at the number 9 spot is my GM boy showing yet. Well, No, well, don't worry, it will. There's a lot of Chevys or Chevy products, GM products, you can say, on this list, because that's what I think of when I think of V8 cars. I think of Chevys. All right, I'm a Chevy guy. And coming in at the number 9 spot is the Chevy Silverado 1500, third generation. We're changing it up today, folks, because we always go with the first gen, or I guess second gen. I don't know what you call it, the cat eyes. We always go with the cat eyes, the GMT 800s. But today we're switching it up to the next generation, because they're under $10,000 and they're pretty nice trucks. They come with a 5.3 liter V8, making 315 horsepower, and it is 4x4. That is actually a little bit more horsepower than the GMT 800s that we usually talk about on this channel, but the truck does also weigh a little bit more, but it also has a nicer interior, you know, no more modern features to it and stuff like that. I personally like the looks of the GMT 800s better than I like the looks of this truck, but if you like the looks of this one better or whatever, it is overall just a better truck. So here you go. And coming in at number 8 spot, this is 3 GM products in a row here. I promise it's not all GM products, okay? Again, man, it's just what I think of. When I think of V8 powered cars, I think of Chevrolet, because my dad likes Chevys, okay? He raised me liking Chevys, I'm sorry. 8th place is going to the Chevy Corvette C4. It also is like, how are you going to beat a Corvette, though? You know what I mean? Like, Dodge has the Viper, sure, but you're not finding a Viper under 10K, obviously. Ford has the GT, sure, but they're not finding a GT under 10K, so it's like, it's kind of hard, you know? How are you going to beat them? The C4 Corvette comes with a 5.7 liter V8 and makes a drastically different number of horsepower depending on the year that you get, because this was during the gas crisis. But I'm going to go with 230 horsepower for today, and it is rear-wheel drive. Again, that horsepower number can change drastically depending on the year, but these are lightweight cars, one of the lightest, I think, if not the lightest C4 Corvette, my bad, ever built. And they will absolutely rip around a track. They're very, in my opinion, slept-on cars. Now, they don't have a lot of horsepower, and they definitely aren't the best out of the gate as, you know, the other Corvettes out there, but they can be. If you start to put some money into it, let's just be honest, if you're watching this video, you're putting money into your Corvette, so they can be a really good car. And coming in at the 7th position, I don't know the generation of this one, so I'm just gonna have to describe it, because there's like 20 different generations of this car. The Dodge Charger RT. And I'm talking specifically the early 2010s Charger RTs, because obviously the new Charger RTs, those are not under $10,000 just yet. And the older ones, I don't really like them too much. I'm talking early 2010s here. They come with a 5.7 liter V8, making 370 horsepower, and it is rear-wheel drive Hemi V8, mind you. So obviously that's pretty good as well. Now, is it as good as an LS? In my personal opinion, no sirree Bob, but it is a good motor nonetheless. And this is also back before Dodge became like the most unreliable brand of all time. And on top of all of that stuff, it's got 4 doors. And it's got one of the highest horsepower numbers on this entire list, 370 horsepower. That's insane. These older Chargers, don't sleep on them. Like, yes, the modern Chargers are sick, but the older Chargers are cool as well. The only slight downside is obviously Dodge Chargers don't come with manual transmissions, so you're kind of screwed if you want a manual. But if you don't care, they're great cars. And coming in at the beautiful number 6 spot, my friends, is going to be going to another car that actually doesn't come with a manual transmission, but it's very easy to swap these things to manuals. I've never done it myself, but I've heard online. It's the Lexus SC400. Y'all boys already know how much I love the SCs, okay? The Lexus SC300 and SC400 are some of the most gorgeous Japanese cars of all time, in my opinion. I love them, okay? And they're just incredible. They come with a 4 liter V8, making 270 horsepower, and it is rear-wheel drive. Now, obviously, it sounds pretty good, and it is pretty good, but the car is obviously, just like every other car on this list so far, pretty heavy with a pretty long wheelbase, and they only come with an automatic transmission. They're mainly luxury cars. Think of the SC400 back then as like the LC500 today. Like, yes, they're cool cars. Yes, they still can be fun and fast, but that wasn't their main selling point. But they're just awesome, and it doesn't really take much to make these cars very, very fun as well. Yes, you have to manual swap it, unfortunately, and yes, you're gonna have to put a little bit more money into it just to make it a little bit faster or lighter, but at the end of the day, you'll have a very fun car with a 1UZ, one of the most reliable engines, period, of all time, let alone just V8s. I bet you the scallywags thought this was going to be first place today. Nope, it's not. It should be. I want it to be first place, but I'm not doing it because I want to build up some dramatic effect. Coming in at 5th place is going to be going to the Chevy Corvette C5. Yeah, in my personal opinion, all jokes aside, if like this is actually the best V8 under 10K, I'm sorry, but it is. I'm putting it at number 5 today because I always put it at number 1, so I felt like it was nice to change it up a little bit. But I don't know what else I would buy if I had $10,000 I was looking for a V8. This car comes with a 5.7 liter V8, making 350 horsepower, and it is rear-wheel drive. It's an LS too, by the way. It is just perfect in every single regard. Now, it is a little hard to find these under $10,000 still. They're coming down a little bit, but they're not quite there just yet. But once you do, man, I mean, it's just it's a no-brainer. It really is. I've said everything I need to say about the C5 Corvette already on this channel. I love it. And coming in at 4th place, extremely easy to find these under $10,000. I realized I forgot to say that about all the cars today so far. Okay, so let's go over them real quick. 3rd gen Silverado, extremely easy to find under 10K. C4 Corvette, extremely easy. Charger RT, a little hard to find under 10K. SC400, extremely easy. C5 Corvette, a little bit hard. However, number 4, the BMW 540i E39 is extremely easy to find under $10,000, and you can probably find them under $5,000 as well if you're patient. They might not be the best condition, obviously, but you can find them. The car comes with a 4.4-liter V8, making 286 horsepower, and it is rear-wheel drive. Now, obviously, you guys know I have a BMW bias. I love BMWs. It's my favorite car brand of all time. You guys already know that. But even if you look up this car online, even all the reviews and all the owners and everything say that this car is actually extremely surprisingly reliable for a V8 powered German car. 9 times out of 10 that doesn't work. Whenever they put anything that isn't an inline 6 motor in a German car, 9 times out of 10 it just starts blowing up. Even the inline 6s blow up sometimes, and the inline 4s as well. But for some reason, this specific V8 from BMW worked really, really well. It worked in the 540i, it worked in the 740i, it just worked. And coming in at 3rd place is a car that's actually starting to rise in price, and it's making me so sad, man, because it's the Ford Mustang GT New Edge. Okay, it's on your screen. You guys already know that. I always do that. I always try to like build up tension to reveal what the car is, but then I always like edit it and you guys just see what it is. I don't know why I do that, but it makes me so sad because I'm not a Ford guy. You guys already know that, but there is one Ford, I mentioned it multiple times, that I love, and it's the New Edge. So that's SN95 Mustangs. I love how they look. They look like almost like little Japanese sports cars, honestly, and they're freaking gorgeous. The car comes with a 4.6-liter V8, making 260 horsepower, and they are rear-wheel drive. And like I said, these are unfortunately coming up in price. Literally probably like 2 years ago, you could very easily find one of these for under 5K. Nowadays, you still can, don't get me wrong, especially if you don't mind having like an automatic convertible. But it's definitely getting harder and harder every day, and it is really unfortunate because they are just incredible cars. They're the same motor that came in the Crown Vic, so they're extremely reliable, just more power, lighter weight, smaller wheelbase, overall better looking, better performing car than the Crown Vic. Obviously, if you want just a daily, I would recommend the Crown Vic, but if you're a car guy looking for something more sporty and more fun to drive, the Mustang GT New Edge is definitely the better option. Coming in at 2nd place is another car that was already on this list yet again. Yeah, because again, man, it really is kind of hard to find like cheap V8s, dude. They're always expensive because they're always in performance cars, obviously, or luxury cars, and neither of those options are 9 times out of 10 cheap. So it's kind of hard. They're just ends up being cars that I already talk about on my list all the time, because 2nd place is going to the Lexus LS400. This car comes with a 4-liter V8 making 270 horsepower, and it is rear-wheel drive. If that sounds familiar, that's because it is. It's the same motor, pretty much the exact same car as the SC400. Just now it has 4 doors and even longer, I believe, wheelbase. I actually could be wrong on that, actually, so don't quote me on that, but I know that it's also got a long wheelbase, and it's also very heavy. It's a grandpa car. We all know that. It all started as kind of like a meme, but then people started realizing like, oh, wait a minute, these cars actually are like incredible. Yeah, don't sleep on the grandpa cars. I said this in my sedans video, but the grandpa cars are grandpa cars for a reason. Grandpas are smart, okay? They want something that's not going to make their head hurt at all. They want to be comfortable and have an extremely reliable car. So the grandpa cars are extremely reliable and comfortable, and that is the LS400. Is it a race car? Absolutely not. They're kind of good at drifting, but still not even a great option there either. They're just an incredible daily driver. But hey, would you look at that? Coming in at 1st place, in my opinion, the best V8 for less than $10,000 is, yes, another GM product. Dude, they just make incredible V8s. The LS, the big blocks, small blocks, they're just good. The LTs now, they're incredible motors. Every single one of their V8s are just insane. I'm sorry, I don't know what to tell you. It's the Chevy Camaro Z28 4th generation. Listen, if anybody out there that knows V8s more than I do, want to leave some comments below on some better V8s, or just more V8s in general. Maybe they don't have to be actually better cars, but just more V8s in general that are cheap, I'd greatly appreciate it, because again, I don't know too much about the V8s. This car comes with a 5.7-liter V8 making 310 horsepower, and it is rear-wheel drive. Yes, it's the Catfish Camaro. Yes, it looks pretty bad. If you can get over the looks of the car though, it is an absolute steal of a deal. Like, it genuinely is. Now, they are starting to rise in price because the drag racers are starting to realize how good of a deal it actually is, but there's still dirt cheap for what they are. I mean, you're not finding a V8 powered Camaro for anything less than a 4th gen. Maybe the 3rd gens, but you don't really want the 3rd gens anyways. They're not the best Camaros out there. These Camaros are just overall good. And honestly, man, the looks do kind of grow on you a little bit. I kind of like them, especially the facelifted ones. They're definitely pretty good looking cars now. But ladies and gentlemen, that is the end of today's video of the top 13 best V8s that you can find for less than $10,000 in the big 2.5. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, please be sure to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel for more content just like this. Let me know what other videos I'd see in the comment section down below. Check the links in the description for any of my other social medias or any of that great mumbo jumbo. And yeah, guys, if anybody, please, fingers crossed, that if anybody has any other recommendations for people that are looking for a V8, please leave a comment below, because again, man, V8s for cheap are just not my strong suit, and 9 times out of 10 they tend to be unreliable or just not the best cars out there, or just not that fun too. Like, that's usually what you're buying when you buy a V8. You're either buying it for the performance or like the reliability / luxury of it, and I feel like it's very, very hard to find a good combination of those two for less than $10,000, or just one of those for under $10,000. And so that's why today's list, there was like kind of a lot of cars where, like, dude, a lot of these cars were just GM products. There was 2 1UZ powered cars on this list, because again, it's just kind of hard to find a good V8 for less than $10,000, I feel like. So anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. I do appreciate it. Das Vidania, and have a nice night.